Ladies and gentlemen, there is an undeniable truth about the dynamics of attraction. Men cannot resist a woman who is detached. But let us not mistake detachment for coldness or indifference. Detachment is a state of empowerment, a quiet knowing that you are whole and complete with or without external validation. A detached woman stands firm in the truth that her inner world creates her outer reality. She does not chase because she understands that everything she desires flows to her effortlessly when she aligns with her worth. Her energy is magnetic, not because she is trying to prove something, but because she is secure in the knowledge that she is enough. Men are drawn to this energy because it is rare. In a world where so many are seeking to be chosen, a detached woman chooses herself first. She doesn't seek approval, for she knows that the only approval that matters is her own. This creates an air of mystery, an allure that cannot be ignored. The law is simple: assume you are already valued, already loved, already worthy. When you live in that assumption, your reality must conform. Detachment is not about giving up, it is about releasing the need to control, trusting that the universe is working in your favor. In letting go, a detached woman gains everything. Her calm, confident presence becomes irresistible, not because she demands attention, but because she commands it naturally. She knows her worth, and so does everyone around her. So I ask you to embody this truth. Detach, trust, and radiate the confidence that only comes from within. When you do, you will find that the world cannot help but respond to your undeniable power. A woman who masters the art of detachment possesses a power that is both subtle and magnetic. This power doesn't come from force or effort, but from an inner state of calm and self assurance that speaks louder than any action she could take. Men are instinctively drawn to a woman who exudes this kind of energy because it stands in stark contrast to the neediness and desperate often characterize unhealthy dynamics. Detachment is not about being cold or indifferent, it's about embodying an energy of self containment and self worth that allows a woman to navigate her life with grace and ease. Detachment begins with a deep understanding of oneself. A detached woman knows who she is at her core. She doesn't look outside herself for validation because she has cultivated a relationship with her own inner being. This self knowledge gives her the confidence to trust her path even when things around her appear uncertain. She is not swayed by external circumstances or the behavior of others because her sense of identity is rooted in something much deeper. This makes her presence captivating. A woman who is grounded in her own worth projects an energy that is both stable and intriguing. Unlike a woman who chases or clings to external outcomes, the detached woman understands that what she seeks cannot be found in someone else. She knows that happiness, love, and fulfillment are states of being that originate within. This understanding allows her to move through life with a sense of ease. She does not need to fight for attention or prove her value because she knows that her value is inherent. Her calm self assurance creates a stark contrast to the chaotic energy of desperation, which can often push others away. Instead, she draws people in with her ability to remain composed and secure, regardless of the situation. This state of detachment doesn't mean that she doesn't care or have emotions. Quite the opposite. A detached woman feels deeply, but she chooses not to allow those feelings to control her or dictate her actions. She has learned to process her emotions in a healthy way without becoming overwhelmed by them. She trusts that everything is unfolding as it should, which gives her the ability to release outcomes and let go of what no longer serves her. This ability to let go is one of her greatest strengths because it frees her from the need to cling to people, situations, or outcomes that aren't aligned with the highest good. Men, in particular, find this quality irresistible. There's a natural human tendency to be drawn to what feels elusive or unattainable, and a detached woman embodies this effortlessly. But it's not about playing games or manipulating others. Her detachment is not a strategy, it's a way of being. It's a reflection of her inner work and her commitment to herself. She doesn't seek to control or possess anyone because she knows that true love and connection cannot be forced. This makes her interactions with others feel light and refreshing. She doesn't carry the weight of expectations or demands which causes others to feel free in her presence. A woman who is detached also understands the value of boundaries. She is not afraid to walk away from situations that don't align with her values or her vision for her life. This ability to walk away not out of spite but out of self respect is profoundly attractive. It signals to others that she values herself too much to settle for less than she deserves. Men, in particular, are drawn to this strength because it shows that she is not dependent on anyone else for her sense of worth. She chooses to be with someone not out of need, but out of genuine desire and mutual respect. Her detachment also allows her to be fully present in her interactions. She doesn't come into relationships with a sense of urgency or a need to rush things. Instead, she allows connections to unfold naturally, without forcing or overanalyzing. This creates an environment where others feel safe to be themselves, which deepens the bond and strengthens the attraction. Her ability to stay grounded and patient in the face of uncertainty is a rare quality, and it makes her stand out in a world where so many are driven by fear and insecurity. The power of a detached woman lies in her ability to maintain her sense of self no matter what. She doesn't allow the opinions or actions of others to define her. She knows that her worth is not dependent on whether someone chooses her or not. This unshakable self belief is what makes her so captivating. People are drawn to her not because she seeks their approval, but because she doesn't need it. Her independence and self sufficiency make her a force to be reckoned with, and it inspires others to rise to her level. At the core of detachment is trust in oneself, trust in the process of life, and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. A detached woman doesn't need to grasp or control because she knows that what is meant for her will come to her in the right time and way. This trust allows her to remain calm and centered, even in the face of uncertainty. It gives her the freedom to focus on her own growth and happiness, which only enhances her magnetic appeal. In essence, a woman who embodies detachment is a woman who knows her worth. She doesn't chase after anything or anyone because she understands that everything she desires is already within her. Her energy is calm, confident, and self assured, and this makes her irresistible. She is a reminder that true power lies in self mastery and that the most attractive quality a person can have is the ability to remain grounded and true to themselves no matter what. The principle that the inner world creates the outer world is a profound truth, especially when it comes to relationships and attraction. A woman who understands this concept realizes that her external experiences, including how others treat her, are a reflection of her inner beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. This awareness empowers her to focus on her inner state rather than trying to manipulate or control external circumstances. It is this mastery of the inner world that makes her magnetic and irresistible. A woman who prioritizes her inner world understands that self worth and confidence originate within. She doesn't wait for others to validate her, she validates herself. This inner assurance creates a ripple effect in her external reality. When she believes she is valuable, others naturally perceive her as valuable too. Her self perception shapes how she interacts with the world and, in turn, how the world responds to her. This is not about arrogance or superiority, it's about holding an unshakable belief in her own worth. This belief radiates outward, subtly influencing the way others see her and respond to her energy. Her ability to focus inward means she doesn't waste energy on external validation or approval. Instead, she invests her energy into nurturing her inner state. She takes the time to understand herself, reflect on her desires, and cultivate a sense of peace and contentment within. This self awareness makes her grounded and intentional. She doesn't seek happiness or fulfillment from external sources because she knows these things can only be found within. This independence and self reliance create a sense of freedom that is deeply attractive to others. When a woman is aligned with her inner world, she approaches relationships from a place of abundance rather than lack. She doesn't feel the need to chase or cling to someone because she doesn't operate from a mindset of scarcity. She knows that love, attention, and connection are not limited resources that must be fought for. Instead, she trusts that what she desires will naturally flow to her when she is aligned with it. This trust comes from her inner state of wholeness and the understanding that she doesn't need anything external to complete her. This inner alignment also allows her to set clear intentions for what she wants. She doesn't waste time on things that don't align with her values or her vision for her life. Her ability to be selective and intentional comes from her deep understanding of her worth and her belief that she deserves the best. This clarity is magnetic because it communicates confidence and purpose. People are naturally drawn to those who know what they want and aren't afraid to go after it. And this is especially true for a woman who has mastered her inner world. Another key aspect of focusing on the inner world is emotional regulation. A woman who is in tune with her inner state doesn't allow external circumstances to dictate her emotions. She remains calm and composed even in challenging situations because she understands that her reaction is within her control. This emotional stability is a rare and attractive quality. It creates a sense of safety and reliability, making her someone others want to be around. Men in particular are drawn to women who exude this kind of calm confidence because it creates an atmosphere of ease and harmony. Her focus on her inner world also means she doesn't get caught up in unnecessary drama or conflict. She doesn't need to prove herself or argue to gain respect because she already respects herself. Her sense of self worth isn't dependent on winning an argument or convincing someone of her value. Instead, she approaches situations with grace and poise, trusting that her actions and energy speak louder than words. This ability to rise above petty conflicts and maintain her dignity is incredibly appealing and sets her apart from others. Moreover, a woman who has mastered her inner world lives with a sense of authenticity. She doesn't feel the need to wear masks or conform to societal expectations because she is secure in who she is. This authenticity is refreshing and captivating because it allows others to see and connect with her true self. People are naturally drawn to those who are genuine and unapologetically themselves because it inspires them to do the same. Her authenticity creates a space where real and meaningful connections can flourish. Focusing on the inner world doesn't mean ignoring the outer world. It means understanding that the outer world is a mirror of the inner. A woman who knows this takes responsibility for her thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. She understands that if she wants to change her external reality, she must first change her internal state. This level of self awareness and accountability is rare and powerful. It allows her to create the life and relationships she desires, not through force or manipulation, but through alignment and intention. Ultimately, a woman who prioritizes her inner world creates an energy that is undeniable. She exudes confidence, authenticity, and calm assurance, all of which are deeply attractive qualities. She doesn't need to chase or prove herself because she knows that her inner state will naturally attract the right people and opportunities into her life. This mastery of the inner world gives her quiet power that others cannot help but notice. She becomes a living example of the truth that when you align with your inner self, your outer world will align with you. Silence is one of the most powerful and underestimated tools a woman can wield, especially when it is rooted in confidence and self assurance. A woman who knows the value of silence is magnetic because her quiet demeanor is a reflection of inner strength and emotional intelligence. She understands that words are not always necessary to convey her worth, desires, or emotions. Instead, her energy, presence, and the way she carries herself speak volumes, creating a mystery and allure that is impossible to ignore. In a world that often rewards noise and demands constant expression, a woman who embraces silence stands out. Her ability to remain composed and reserved in situations where others might feel compelled to speak or react creates an aura of self control. This silence is not born from insecurity or a lack of opinions, but rather from a place of discernment. She chooses her words carefully, speaking only when she has something meaningful to say. This deliberate approach to communication makes her words carry more weight. When she does speak, people listen because they know her silence has meaning and her words have purpose. Men in particular are drawn to this kind of woman because her silence creates an air of mystery. There is something inherently captivating about someone who does not reveal everything about herself up front. She doesn't feel the need to over explain, justify, or seek approval because she is secure in who she is. This restraint compels others to lean in, to want to know more, and to work harder to understand her. Her silence is not a wall, it's an invitation to engage with her on a deeper level beyond surface level interactions. Her quiet confidence allows her to navigate relationships with grace and poise. She doesn't feel the need to dominate conversations or prove her worth through words because she knows her presence alone is enough. This self assurance is deeply attractive because it signals a level of emotional maturity that is rare. She isn't reactive or impulsive, she takes the time to observe, process, and respond thoughtfully. This patience and composure create a sense of stability and reliability, making her someone others naturally gravitate toward. Silence also gives her a unique advantage in understanding others. While many people are busy talking, she is listening. She pays attention to what is said, but more importantly, to what is left unsaid. Her ability to read between the lines and pick up on subtle cues allows her to connect with others in a way that feels deeply intuitive. This skill makes her a compassionate and empathetic presence as she is able to truly hear and understand those around her. Her silence is not passive, it is active and intentional, a tool she uses to gain insight and build meaningful relationships. This woman also understands that silence can be a boundary. She does not feel obligated to fill the space with words or engage in conversations that don't align with her values. Her silence is a way of preserving her energy and protecting her peace. She doesn't waste time on gossip, arguments, or unnecessary drama because she knows her energy is better spent elsewhere. This discernment is incredibly appealing because it shows that she values herself and her time. Others respect her boundaries because she communicates them clearly, not through confrontation, but through her quiet resolve. In romantic relationships, her silence creates a dynamic of respect and intrigue. She doesn't chase or cling because she knows that her presence is enough to make an impact. She is not afraid of pauses or gaps in conversation because she understands that true connection doesn't require constant chatter. This comfort with silence allows space for deeper intimacy to develop, as it fosters an environment where both partners can feel safe to be themselves. Her ability to hold space without demanding attention makes her an ideal partner, as she brings a sense of calm and balance to the relationship. Moreover, her silence is a reflection of her inner world. It shows that she is comfortable with herself and doesn't rely on external noise to distract from her thoughts or emotions. She has cultivated a strong sense of self awareness, which allows her to remain grounded even in challenging situations. This inner peace is evident in the way she carries herself, and it is one of the reasons she is so magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who exude a sense of calm and self assurance, and her silence is a testament to her inner stability. This silence is not about withholding or creating distance, it's about being intentional and authentic. She knows that true power doesn't come from trying to control others or dominate conversations, but from being secure in her own energy. Her silence is a statement of self sufficiency, a quiet declaration that she doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. This confidence is contagious, inspiring those around her to also seek a sense of calm and clarity in their own lives. Ultimately, a woman who understands the power of silence is a woman who understands herself. She knows that her value is not determined by how much she says or how loudly she speaks, but by the quality of her presence and the strength of her character. Her silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is a reflection of her wisdom, self respect, and trust in herself. This is why men, and people in general, find her so captivating. She is a reminder that true power lies not in noise, but in the quiet confidence of simply being. The law of assumption is a profound concept that shapes our realities and governs the outcomes we experience in life. A woman who understands and embodies this principle becomes an irresistible force because she operates from a mindset of certainty and abundance. The law of assumption states that what you assume to be true in your mind will eventually manifest in your reality. This means that the way a woman views herself, her worth, and her relationships directly influences how others perceive and respond to her. It is through this unwavering belief in her value that she becomes magnetic and unforgettable. This woman begins by mastering her inner narrative. She assumes without hesitation that she is loved, desired, and valued. She doesn't wait for external confirmation to believe these things about herself. Instead, she chooses to hold these assumptions as truth within her mind. This conviction shapes her energy, her actions, and her demeanor. She doesn't second guess her worth or question whether she is deserving because she has already decided deep within that she is. This inner certainty is a powerful force that naturally draws others to her. Her ability to embody the law of assumption allows her to project an aura of confidence that is impossible to ignore. She walks into a room with the quiet assurance that she belongs, that she is seen, and that she is respected. This confidence doesn't come from arrogance or ego, but from the deep belief that she is already everything she needs to be. People are naturally drawn to this kind of energy because it feels secure, empowering, and uplifting. Her confidence inspires others to see her in the same light, reinforcing her assumptions and creating a self-fulfilling cycle of attraction and admiration. Unlike someone who doubts or hesitates, this woman doesn't act from a place of lack or desperation. She doesn't chase or cling because she assumes she already has everything she desires. This mindset allows her to approach relationships and interactions from a place of abundance. She doesn't need constant reassurance or validation because she knows at her core that she is enough. This independence and self assuredness are deeply attractive because they signal emotional maturity and self respect. Her assumptions also influence the way she sets boundaries. She assumes that she deserves to be treated with respect and kindness, and this belief is reflected in her actions. She doesn't tolerate behavior that falls below her standards because her assumptions about herself leave no room for anything less. This clarity and self respect make others naturally rise to her level. People instinctively want to meet her expectations because her energy communicates that she values herself and expects the same from others. The law of assumption also allows her to remain calm and composed in the face of challenges or uncertainty. She doesn't worry or stress about outcomes because she assumes that everything is working in her favor. This trust in the process gives her a sense of ease and grace that others find captivating. She doesn't need to control or force situations because she believes that what is meant for her will come to her naturally. This relaxed confidence creates a sense of stability and security, making her presence comforting and reassuring. Her ability to assume the best about herself also extends to the way she views others. She assumes that people see her in a positive light, that they value her presence, and that they want to connect with her. These assumptions shape the way she interacts with the world. She approaches conversations and relationships with openness and warmth because she doesn't carry the fear of rejection or judgment. This positive mindset makes her approachable and easy to connect with, further enhancing her magnetism. One of the most remarkable aspects of the law of assumption is its ability to transform not just her reality, but also the realities of those around her. A woman who operates from this principle inspires others to do the same. Her unwavering belief in herself serves as a mirror, encouraging others to see the best in themselves. She becomes a source of empowerment and positivity, which makes her presence even more valuable and cherished. This woman also understands that the law of assumption is a continuous practice. She remains vigilant about her thoughts and beliefs, ensuring that they align with the reality she wants to create. She doesn't allow doubt or fear to take root because she knows that her assumptions are the foundation of her experiences. This dedication to her inner world keeps her energy aligned and focused, allowing her to manifest her desires with ease. What makes her truly irresistible is the way she embodies these principles without effort. She doesn't have to announce her worth or demand attention because her energy speaks for itself. Her assumptions are reflected in her demeanor, her choices, and the way she carries herself. She radiates a sense of self assuredness that others can't help but notice and admire. Ultimately, the law of assumption is not about wishful thinking or pretending to be something she's not. It's about aligning her inner beliefs with the reality she wants to experience. By assuming she is already loved, valued, and worthy, she creates a world where these things naturally flow to her. Her ability to hold these assumptions with confidence and grace makes her not only magnetic but also a powerful creator of her own reality. It is this mastery of her inner world that sets her apart and makes her truly unforgettable. Letting go is one of the most liberating and transformative acts a woman can embrace. And it is a quality that sets her apart as irresistible. This doesn't mean she is detached in a way that makes her cold or indifferent. Instead, her ability to let go comes from a profound inner strength and trust in the natural flow of life. She understands that holding on too tightly to people, outcomes, or situations only creates resistance and prevents her from fully stepping into her power. By releasing control and surrendering to the flow of life, she exudes an energy of freedom and ease that is impossible to ignore. A woman who knows how to let go understands that clinging to anything is rooted in fear of loss, rejection, or failure. Instead of allowing this fear to dictate her actions, she chooses to operate from a place of trust. She trusts herself, her worth, and the process of life. This trust allows her to let go what doesn't serve her, whether it's a relationship, an expectation, or a specific outcome. By doing so, she frees herself from the burden of trying to control everything and creates space for new and better opportunities to flow into her life. In relationships, this ability to let go is particularly magnetic. She asically because she understands that true should not be forced or demanded. Instead, she allows relationships to unfold naturally without imposing expectations or trying to steer the outcome. This relaxed approach makes her presence refreshing and inviting. People feel at ease around her because she doesn't exude the heavy energy of neediness or desperation. Her ability to let go signals emotional maturity and self-assurance, making her stand out in a world where many people struggle to release their grip on control. This doesn't mean she doesn't care deeply or invest in her relationships. On the contrary, her ability to let go comes from a place of love for herself and respect for others. She understands that holding on too tightly to someone can be stifling and counterproductive. By letting go, she gives the other person the freedom to show up authentically and make their own choices. This freedom creates a space for genuine connection where both parties can thrive without feeling suffocated by expectations or obligations. Her ability to let go also reflects her understanding of her own worth. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves, nor does she try to hold on to situations that aren't aligned with her values or desires. When something isn't working, she has the courage to walk away, not out of bitterness or anger, but out of respect for herself. This self respect is magnetic because it shows that she values her time, energy, and emotional well being. Others are naturally drawn to her because they recognize her strength and integrity. Letting go also allows her to live in the present moment. She doesn't dwell on the past or obsess over the future because she knows that the only moment that truly matters is now. This presence is deeply attractive because it creates a sense of calm and stability. People feel safe and grounded in her presence because she isn't distracted by regrets or worries. Her ability to fully engage with the present moment makes her interactions meaningful and genuine, further enhancing her magnetism. Another aspect of letting go is releasing the need to control outcomes. She doesn't micromanage her life or try to force things. To letting go is one of the most profound and empowering acts a woman can embody. It is not a sign of indifference or weakness, but a testament to her inner strength, self-awareness, and trust in the natural flow of life. A woman who masters the art of letting go understands that clinging tightly, whether to people, outcomes, or expectations, only creates resistance and hinders her ability to grow and thrive. Instead, she chooses to release what no longer serves her, creating space for greater opportunities, deeper connections, and true fulfillment to enter her life. This ability to let go makes her not only magnetic but also deeply inspiring. At the core of her ability to let go is trust. She trusts herself, her worth, and the process of life. This trust allows her to detach from the need to control every aspect of her circumstances. She understands that life operates on its own timeline, and trying to force or manipulate outcomes often leads to frustration and disappointment. By surrendering control, she aligns herself with the flow of life, allowing things to unfold naturally. This sense of ease and trust radiates from her, creating an aura of peace and confidence that draws others in. In relationships, her ability to let go sets her apart. She doesn't chase or cling to people because she knows that genuine connection cannot be forced. Instead, she values the freedom to be herself and extends that same freedom to others. This approach makes her presence refreshing and inviting. People feel comfortable around her because she doesn't exude the heavy energy of neediness or desperation. She doesn't try to mold others into her expectations or hold onto them out of fear of loss. Instead, she trusts that if a relationship is meant to be, it will flourish naturally. This doesn't mean she doesn't care deeply or value her relationships. On the contrary, her ability to let go reflects her respect for herself and for others. She knows that holding on too tightly can suffocate a connection, preventing it from growing authentically. By letting go, she allows the other person the freedom to choose, fostering a dynamic of mutual respect and genuine affection. This creates a relationship based on equality and trust, rather than one weighed down by control or insecurity. Letting go also stems from her deep understanding of her worth. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves, nor does she compromise her values to fit someone else's mold. When a situation or relationship no longer aligns with her highest good, she has the courage to release it, even if it's painful in the moment. She doesn't see letting go as a loss, but as an act of self respect and an opportunity for growth. This self assuredness is magnetic because it communicates that she values herself and her well being above all else. Her ability to let go is also rooted in her ability to stay present. She doesn't dwell on the past or obsess over the future because she understands that the only moment she truly has is now. By releasing regrets, grievances, and unrealistic expectations, she frees herself to fully experience the present. This presence is one of her most captivating qualities. People feel seen, heard, and valued in her company because she is fully engaged in the moment. Her grounded and mindful approach to life makes her a source of comfort and inspiration to those around her. A woman who knows how to let go also understands the power of boundaries. She doesn't cling to toxic relationships or situations out of fear of being alone. Instead, she sets clear boundaries to protect her energy and emotional well being. Letting go, in this sense, becomes an act of self preservation and empowerment. She recognizes that not everything or everyone is meant to stay in her life, and she is okay with that. This ability to release what doesn't serve her creates space for people and experiences that align with her values and bring her joy. Her detachment from outcomes doesn't mean she lacks ambition or desires. On the contrary, she is deeply intentional about what she wants. She will allow herself to become consumed by the need for specific results. She sets her goals and takes inspired action, but she remains flexible and open to how things unfold. This balance of intention and surrender makes her resilient and adaptable. She doesn't crumble in the face of setbacks or challenges because she trusts that everything is unfolding in her favor, even if it's not immediately apparent. Her ability to let go also allows her to embrace change with grace and optimism. She understands that change is an inevitable part of life and that resisting it only creates unnecessary suffering. By releasing attachments to how things should be, she opens herself up to new possibilities and opportunities. This adaptability and openness make her life dynamic and vibrant, qualities that are deeply attractive to others. Ultimately, a woman who has mastered the art of letting go embodies freedom. She is free from the burdens of control, fear, and attachment. Her lightness of being allows her to move through life with grace and confidence, drawing people to her effortlessly. She doesn't hold on out of fear of lack, because she knows that abundance is her natural state. This unwavering trust in herself and the universe makes her truly magnetic. Her ability to let go is not a weakness, but a profound strength that allows her to create a life of authenticity, joy, and love. In conclusion, a woman who masters the art of letting go embodies freedom, confidence, and trust in herself and life. She doesn't cling out of fear or need, but instead radiates calm, self assurance, and grace. By releasing control and surrendering to the flow of life, she creates space for deeper connections, new opportunities, and true abundance. Her ability to let go reflects her inner strength, making her truly irresistible and unforgettable.